give me one shot here on a blue chip stock, believe me, Kevin, the only problem you're gonna have is that you didn't buy more.
Nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in circles.
What's going on, NBA draft fans? Your boy's back, Corey Tulaba, the Wolf of Ball Street, the NBA draft dude, and I am here today with a very special guest. We have Sidy Cissoko of the G League Ignite with us today. Sidy is going to be 19 years old on draft night. He is listed at 6'8", 200 pounds, averaging 11 points, 3 assists, and 2.5 rebounds a game in the G League this year. Sidy, how are you doing, man? Thank you for being here.
Thank you, man. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I am well. I'm excited to chop it up with you and break down some film. Are you excited? We got All-Star break coming up, and you know you're going to be taking part in the next up game with the G League. So tell me about that and you know what you got going on there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like a dream. Like every young guys, like every kids want to be in the All-Star weekend for sure. And I'm just excited to be there in Utah and play the Rising Star and play the G League All-Star. So yeah, I'm gonna have a great week. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think you know for a lot of people when they look at you know the G League Ignite path, it's an alternative pathway, which is you know now in year 3. What was it that drew you to the G League Ignite program?
I mean, they got really like how's it work out. I saw like everything, how's it work out, how they make the player getting better. For example, like Jalen Green and everyone like Dyson Daniels, like they make it to the next level, and I just want to be like them and be in the league right now. So yeah, I'm just trying to be focused on what the coach said because he got dropped like people from last year like Dyson Daniels, Beauchamp, RD. So I'm just doing like what he's saying. I hope I'm getting drafted for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it's really cool. I think, you know, somebody with your height and, you know, some of the ball skills and stuff, I think that you could see a lot of a guy like Dyson Daniels in you and you know, especially what you do on the defensive end, which we'll get into in a little bit. But, you know, you were born in France. So tell me, you know, what the basketball scene was like growing up in France. Because I think in the States, you know, we might not think of it as this big thing, but you know, you have Nick Batum and Tony Parker, and now you have you and Victor Wembanyama, and there, you know, it's really a thriving scene there. So what was that like growing up?
I mean, I would say like some French people like we was like not scared, but like when we was watching the highlight from the American guy, we was like, damn, they're crazy, like because they show every time the good part of the highlights, and it was like we know like in Europe, like it's not athletic like in the US. So yeah, but we got a great mindset, like great IQ for play basketball in overseas, and yeah. So yeah, we just like run a lot of system in overseas and in American play just 1-on-1 who's better, and yeah, kind of funny. So yeah.
Did you have a favorite NBA team growing up?
I had Miami when LeBron was in Miami.
Yeah.
And when LeBron joined Cleveland, I like Cleveland too. So I'm not a fan of LeBron James, but like he was winning every time. So
so it's
go ahead.
Was it just easier to watch like LeBron games over there because you know when you're winning or no it was hard?
Yeah, like because right now like in Paris, like I'm in Vegas, but like, right now it's like maybe 11 p.m. and it's like you can watch basketball like because all we watch the game at 4 or 3 more at the morning. So now you can't even watch. We was like watching the replay every time. So
yeah, you had to really go out of your way to do it. Talk to me about you know some of the differences actually playing in the G League, you know, against pros. You know, you had a good showing, you know, in some FIBA tournaments, but what was it like, you know, kind of jumping up in level of competition and dealing with, you know, one of the best leagues in the world?
I feel like we have to show more respect to the G League player because almost all the G League player can be in the league right now. Like I just saw like 3 days ago Paris Baz make 50 points in the G, and you have to do it for like 50 points in the G League. So yeah, and yeah, like people like don't like if they think the G League, yeah, nobody defense, like they got like lot of space, but yeah, it's like one of the hardest competition in the world for sure. And yeah, just like and you have to respect everyone in the league, so everyone can shoot, everyone can dribble, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, right before we get into your film, I want to ask if for somebody who's watching this for the first time and has never watched an Ignite game, how would you describe your game?
My game, I would say some I would say some Spanish basketball, some pass, some IQ for sure, and that's some like you're gonna watch someone that like he will never give up like in basketball game. You're gonna pay his life for sure. Like it was like his last game, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me watching you, one of the things that stands out the most, I mean, we mentioned it, you're 6'8", you're 200 plus pounds. Do you know your wingspan?
No.
No, but you look like you got good length on that you use on both sides of the ball. And I think one of the things that stands out is your athleticism. And I think that this clip here does a good job of kind of showing the type of athlete that you are. So, you guys get the board, we get it to Scoot, he's pushing the pace. At what point do you know I'm taking this to the rack and I'm putting it down on someone's head?
Yeah. I mean, I just like I like the first time I see this like the space on the court, I didn't want to dunk. Like I was like maybe like I don't know because the guy like which one was
Let's see. Let's replay.
the because this guy from the man ends like he got like he blocked. I don't know if it was this one, but he like great defense like on there, and I was like, damn, like, I have to go or yes or no, and I said yeah, I was just like do it, and if I can get to block, it's like I try at least, but no, that worked.
Yeah,
So
because even if he goes up and contests it and you don't get that
yeah,
dunk, like you attacking that hard with that much space, with your athleticism and your big frame, like worst case, you're probably at least drawing a foul there, right? Like even
yeah,
if
for
you draw
sure.
contact and you get to go to the line, I think that that is a good way to generate points and your willingness to go out and make plays in transition is something that
Mm.
is really appealing to is going to be appealing to teams, especially because you don't need somebody to create for you in these situations. Like you're so good at getting a rebound and taking it up yourself. Talk to me about this play. Like at what point are
This,
you realizing like I think that I could take this all the way. No one's stopping me.
um, this play I know like college time like I saw like college time in the eyes, and he was like hesitating if he have to go or stop me at the triple line. And when I saw him like he took a step back, like I just like go because I know like for me like it's hard to stop me like when I took like the first step. I know it, like not lot of people can stop me on this first step. So I just try to do and get through the both player and just dunk after this. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's some really nifty like footwork and splitting the defense and just going through and getting after it with two hands. I think that being able to get out and play in transition and thrive with pace, that's something that I think that everybody in the NBA is really looking for. And then one more clip here that I want to show that I feel like is a good indication of the type of athlete that you are. Um, here you're coming off the screen, you go through and oh yeah, now we got a poster putting it on someone's
Yeah.
head. So take me through this clip here.
It's like almost the same play, but on the right side. I know, like I know he was going under and he was going to the other side, and he like so he
Mm,
didn't get time to stop me. So and I know the big man from Santa Cruz like he's my eight, so I just I just like keep like distance on me and him. And I know if I was going up, he was like behind me,
Hmm.
and I just have to dunk and or lay the ball. So I was like pretty far from him, so I didn't hesitate too much on this one.
Yeah, and I think that like again, you being able to get downhill with NBA spacing is just really impressive. Is there more or less space, playing in the G League compared to playing overseas and how you grew up?
Um, for sure, because like some big men overseas, like they don't shoot, they just like some set screen, and the other guys are like being the drop, like just stay in the paint. So and the court is smaller, so all you have to jump over him or dunk on him to get a dunk. Like all you have to do is flutter. And so here is good because you got a lot of space for. It's good, very good for me because you got a lot of space in the court, and the court is much bigger than overseas. So yeah.
Is like adjusting to the new dimensions? Is that something that took a while to adjust to, or were you able to kind of slide in and get used to it real quick?
Yeah, I come here to like to adjust my game, like to get like really like to play like an NBA player,
Hmm.
and because I because for some people like from overseas to pass in NBA that's hard because like the court is bigger and like the space, the rules too, like the 3 seconds in the paint and on offense and defense is not the same like in overseas. So yeah, I'm just like here to practice in and how I can be, how much better I can be for next year and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And the next aspect of the game that I kind of want to talk about with you is your passing ability. And at your size, uh, were you always playing with the ball in your hand growing up?
I mean, where I was in Spain, I was playing the point. I was playing point guard like all the time because like I just grew up like 2 years ago. Like 1 year ago, I was not. I was even. I was like maybe 6'2" when I was in Spain. So I was like playing every time point guard and yeah, and I know like I got the talent for the pass. Like some people can see everything on the court. I can see everything on the court. So I just like I need to keep improve this, like because I'm not playing the point guard now, but
Hmm.
I still have the ball in the end and make some pass. So yeah,
Yeah, I think this is a great pass. It seems simple, right? It's just like a little basic pick and roll, but
yeah,
I mean, you're recognizing that they're switching here, right? And you got to get the ball down to your big who gets position, and they don't he doesn't finish this play, but that's the type of play that coaches want to see you make, right? Like they don't necessarily always want to see you dance with the ball because maybe you got a big when you got, such a mismatch down low. So I think that speaks to your IQ. Do you watch a lot of film? Is it natural? Like cuz I feel like you're a high feel player.
uh, I would say it's natural because like where I was in Spain, like it was like really like with a lot of IQ basket and recognize the mismatch every time you play a pick and roll. And on this one, like on this video, like Mika, I know like for this one he missed, but I know like it's hard to stop Mika in the paint. So I would just like like pass to him, and I know like he's gonna miss one maybe a game, and the second time I'm not gonna make it. I got all the confidence on him, and yeah, like just every time because some players like when they play the pick and rolls, they don't want to switch. They just watch the big man and their play. So they think already about the crossover, but they have to watch everything on the court. So yeah.
Yeah, and this one I love because it looks like you're really fooling the big man with your eyes as you get downhill here. So as we replay it, you're coming off and you like do a little mid-air jump, and he's got to kind of decide between two guys. You have
Yeah.
your wing cutting on the right side, and then the roller going to the hoop. Talk to me about this play and making these like quick improvisational reads.
This one, the pass at the beginning was going to Baba, like Baba Kasane, because he did a great cut, and after I saw like the big man from Birmingham just go on Baba, and here I just saw Mika here, and I know like I didn't watch Mika on this one, but I know like Mika raw every time, so I just know he gonna be there. So yeah, but I think if Baba didn't cut, we never this play would never happen. It would be a travel or something else. So. sure.
Yeah, and you kind of leave your feet, right? So you get stuck. So if he
Yeah.
doesn't cut, maybe that puts you in a tricky spot. But I think I want to talk about this play because you pull up here, and I think that's an aspect of your game that NBA teams are going to want to see. But if you had this one back, what would you do on this play?
Um, I would say I can get downhill, but I would probably take the shot again. But I can do a further too. But I need to
Mm,
improve on this mid distance shot for sure. Like I think every point guard, if you
maybe
give the ball to London or Scoot, you're gonna shoot for sure or you're gonna do a flutter.
mm,
But I need to be more aggressive on this one for sure. So,
yeah, I think there maybe if you take like one more dribble in, so if you just get a little bit closer to the nail and you got Trevion there, it makes him come up and meet you a little bit more, and then maybe you
yeah.
would have a drop off, or you get downhill, you put him in that cat and mouse position where now he's got to guard you, and the roller. And I think that this is kind of a good example of you doing that here, where you do take that extra step, the big's got to come up, and it leads to that little drop off, right? So, I think that I love that you do have this in your game, and you got this pick and roll craft, and I love that little hesitation that you play with. Um, is that something that you work on with the G League team?
Um, no, but I know here in the G League, like they switch. Sometimes they switch like every time on me, or they get under because like I know like almost a big man on the team. Like I'm almost one of the tallest guy in the team, and I know like when they got like Leonard or Fa on the pick and roll, sometimes they just switch at the end, and so
Mm.
the small guy or the big guy on me, he can come back for the dunk from Fa. So I just in this one is wide open because like I see Fa right in the middle of the paint. So and he did a great role. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think this next one here is a good example of the same kind of thing. Playing with pace, you get downhill, and he commits to the roll, and this time you're able to take it in and get to the hoop and finish with your left, which is something that I notice that you do a lot. Do you feel comfortable, finishing with both hands like that?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't go a lot of time with my left because, like, sometimes with my left, just want to. I'm better for pass, but like I can finish for sure. But like this one, I was like really upset because on this game, I just like really want to dunk on JF. I tried, like, everyone in the G wants to dunk on JF, but like there's an action like that, but like there's like
Well, you didn't
it's
get the
just like
dunk, but it's a great drive.
yeah, like there's like you want to do one-on-one in the air. So like you want to challenge Jay if he can block you every time or not. Like for sure. I mean, I think all the young guys from the G League right in my team like was coach I say like when you got like someone like just try to put his elbow in the mouth or something like I just do what you say and just go hard in the rim and yeah try to challenge every time the big
So
man.
so kind of use your offhand to kind of push him off and create separation so you have a cleaner look at the hoop.
Yeah, definitely because like
Mm.
forgive me, flower, but like I know like it's hard to push me there when I got one step in the paint already. So I just have to like to get my body set and everything and just go to
Yeah,
the
like
rim. So yeah,
yeah,
like
right there you could see, right, you using that hand to shield. That's
yeah,
great. You mentioned earlier that a lot of teams will have been going under on you. Is that kind of the next step to your pick and roll game that you need to improve on?
yeah, for sure. I think like I think now I know the problem. What is like the first dribble like for shoots is too soft. So I know like in practice now when I do a tough dribble, like I know
Mm.
like it's getting in now. So just like I think the problem of the first part of the season was my dribble was like really soft for shoot, and you can shoot when like something soft. So I was not making like the under, but I take it. next time.
Yeah, but because you're capable of hitting those shots, and this is a tough one that you hit here, right? Like they're following you over here, a little step back.
Mm.
That's a tough
Um,
shot.
yeah, I really like to do the step back with my left hand. I think for me it's more easier. And I was doing this all time in overseas, so now like I lose a little bit of the step back shot because like the triple line is far than the overseas for sure. Now I'm getting back of this
Mm.
step back. So yeah.
I mean, is that an adjustment? Just I mean, it's a couple extra feet, right? Like, did you, did it take you a couple of weeks to kind of get comfortable with the shot, or is that something that in practice, you kind of, practice from distance anyway?
Yeah, like sometimes I feel it. I feel like you have to use more your legs and everything for shot at three now. But like yeah, the first part of the season was a little bit hard for me, but now I'm getting used to it.
Mm.
And just like you have to use all your body for shoot. So yeah, because before I was
Yeah.
like just like in overseas I was not using all my body to shoot because like the triple line was close. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's one of the benefits of coming to the Ignite program, right? Like everything is geared towards helping you become the best NBA player that you could be, and practicing and playing with that 3-point line is going to help you as you translate. Like there will be no adjustment next season when you're playing in the league, right? You'll have that down.
Yeah.
And I think with your shooting, when you get to the league next year, I mean, look, you're playing off a bunch of great playmakers in the G League, right? You got Scoot, Leonard Miller's a good passer, but you might be playing with Luka or LeBron or somebody like that. So being able to play off the ball as well as on of it is going to be a big aspect of your game. And I think the ability to spot up, catch and shoot, that's going to be big. Do you feel comfortable playing off the ball?
Yeah, definitely like to not like cut, baseline cut, some stuff like this here for sure. Because I know next year I'm not gonna touch like the ball I touch in the right now in the G. Like just have to be ready every time. Like because like for example, if I play with Luka Doncic, you don't know where he's gonna pass because like his pass like is like random. So yeah, I'll just be ready every time. Like and John told me like when you got like spot up, like John Jenkins told me like when you're like your feet set, just shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, and you mentioned your cutting, and Scoot draws so much attention when he has the ball in his hands, right? I love this play because you kind of see he's getting downhill, and you just go. You see a little opening.
yeah, because like this play, like Birmingham, they when we play against Scoot, like when we got Scoot on the team, like they play five against him, like they they 10 eyes on Scoot on defense, and like
Mm.
just like you like when you saw like I see I was open, so and nobody can stop me like when I'm downhill, so because
Yeah,
like
when you have that much space,
yeah,
they're not
like
getting a good contest on you.
yeah, and I would say too like because like in the triple line too like when like Scoot is like this like he it's hard to stop Scoot too like when you got like the because like there's one action here like he was dreaming from the triple line he just did the dunk of the year already so
Oh yeah,
yeah so I
yeah.
it's
He's a crazy athlete, huh?
yeah so yeah it's like or Scoot go around to the basket or he just passed to me just like between two like but it's like feel
Yeah, I think that normally a guy who is as athletic as Scoot, you know, typically those young guys, it takes a little while before they kind of learn like the nuances of the game, right? And Scoot seems like he's such a high field player. He already understands how to manipulate these guys without just using athleticism. Like he could play slow too and still get to his spots. Um, Here's another great cut that you make and then get to the hoop. Take me through this one.
mm, what? Yeah,
A
so
little
he was
backdoor.
he was watching like with his two eyes. Like coach told me, like when you got like when you see your eyes is in the back of the player, just cut because you will not see
Yeah.
him. So and when he saw me,
Yeah,
it was too
right
late.
here. He's focused, right? He lost sight of you. He's not playing with
Yeah,
his back flat, right? He can't see
yeah,
his man in the ball. So he thinks he can, and then boop, right
yeah.
there. A nice little up and under fist. So you got the athleticism, and then you got the little finesse layup package too.
Mm, this, yeah. I don't know if it's Jabate on this one or yeah. No, no, it was not Jabate. It was the other foreman, I think. No, but like
Hmm.
no, like when there's someone like being the 45 and he's like my height, it's like I don't have doubt. Like I have to finish the layup. So yeah, I don't hesitate too much.
All right. That was the offense. Now I want to run through your defense because I think, you know, one of the biggest aspects of your game is that you're such a versatile defender because, you like you said you were 6'2" a couple of years ago, so you were used to guarding point guard. So you have the feet of somebody who's a lot smaller, but now you also have the size where you can guard a bunch of different positions. How many positions do you think that you can guard at the next level?
I would say I would say five if
Mhm.
the five is a foreman because I
Yeah.
know like sometimes like the basketball changes they put like the four as a five and they play with four guards. So yeah, I'm thinking I can go at five. Like, and sometimes can switch with the five like a really big man, like switch it like sometime for sure. I
Yeah.
can
Where
get
you
them
just
all.
wall up, use your length, get
Yeah,
high, and
yeah.
body up, right? I want you to take me through this play. This is a guy in who's that Brandon Boston who real shifty, right? And you're just sticking to him like glue. Take me through that. What it's like guarding these high level guys on an island like this.
Um, I know like BJ Boston like really like to like do little size up and do step
Yeah.
back because he's like almost my age, and I was watching like when I was like overseas, I was watching his highlights, and before the
Mm.
game, I watched his highlights. And Coach Tiska told me like every time he's going like on ISO, is for doing the step back. So I was every time ready to guard the step back, but I know like some plays they whistle a lot of foul, but
Mm.
that was not a foul for sure. But I think it.
But you're anticipating this the whole time, right? Like you said, you watched
Yeah,
him for that step back, so you're able to get a clean contest and force him into a really difficult shot, even for a tough shot maker. That's really hard. You're in his space. You got active hands. You're sticking with him. You're just shadowing him. So,
mm.
I think your defense, your potential on that end is through the roof. Is there anybody who you're looking forward to guarding at the next level
I want here on the G or
in the
NBA.
NBA?
Mm, I would say Kyrie for sure. I mean, Kyrie for sure because it was my idol when I grew up. So yeah, I just want to go and Kyrie because NBA like how you see it from outside is not the same perspective when you are in the play. So
Mm.
I just want to go at him like one time at least.
What do you like about his game?
He is like he's finishing for sure. Size up like he can go to the left hand, right hand, do it reverse spin, shoot, fade away. He can do everything. He does this. Yeah,
Everything.
I like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
High off the glass, spin. Yeah, both hands.
yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy. Um, this is another really impressive defensive possession right here. Low clock, 10 seconds. He's sizing you up. Take me through this clip.
Mm, I know, like I give a. I was under the triple line, but because I got long arms, I know like if I was, I don't need to be like on his body to contest him in the shot. So here like I try to make him like switch like I tried him to send him to the middle because I know Marcus was here like here,
Okay.
but he switched side. He did a great crossover. Uh, after just he tried to bump me, and I was there, so I didn't move too much. So I was like, so I know he was going for the step back at the end, so the fight away. So I just contest him and go back in offense after.
So you could give him, because you have such great length, you could give him a little bit of space. So if he drives, you're meeting him at the rim, and then because of your length, when he can't
Yeah.
get by you, you could still contest even if he hits that little step back.
Yeah, for sure. Because like if you want to go to if you want to like go to the layup, you have to really push me or really put like all his body to me, and or the gonna be an offensive foul or something like that. So yeah.
This one now, let's get a little off-ball defense. I think this is a really impressive play for a few reasons. I mean, one, you get that monster block as the help, but when you're actually breaking down the defense, you're kind of understanding of positioning on the court as the help man, right? Like you're the most important guy, you're the low man there. I think it's a really mature play, not chasing your man to that weak side corner. So take me through this play.
When you're the low, I think like what team got the rules. Like when you got the low man, just go on the other side and your teammate got your back. So I know Marquis he was like almost ready for taking my player already. So I'm just have to be confident on my teammate. What's he gonna do for me after just this? Because like I just do extra like I was just in the paint for Mojave because they didn't switch. So I was just here for helping him. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to have trust in your teammates because you rotate over, and if at the next level, that might not be a role, right? They might see you coming over, and that they might actually whip that to the weak side corner. So you got to have trust in your teammates that they'll X out, and then you can recover, get into the hoop. So I love that play, and again, like, I mean, you're 6'8" with a long wingspan, and you can actually get up and protect that rim. You're averaging about a block a game this season. Were you always kind of a good shot blocker? Because you said you were 6'2" a couple of years ago. A lot of guards don't have that natural instinct to be a rim protector.
I mean, in overseas last year, like I was like every time blocking shot against a center, and because they don't expect a guard like try to blocking you, like they think like already they make the basket, and you just come out like out of nowhere and just block the ball. And yeah, I had like this in overseas, and I was using my athletic because in overseas there was not a lot of people like athletic like me, so I was just use this every time. So yeah.
All right, I'm going to take you through two more clips, and then I'll get you out of here. This last one, or this next one, I love because of the hustle here. I mean, quick hands, and then you're diving on the floor, getting some, scraping your knees up a little bit, giving your opportunity for your team to turn defense into offense. So have you always been a guy who's just willing to, give up your body and get on the floor and make hustle plays?
Definitely, I would say every time, just for a win. My just like before I play a game, like my dad said, like when I was small, my dad said like if you play this sport and you don't want to win, just like don't play basketball anymore, do something else. And I would just like play until I die for win a game if you want. Yeah.
So that came, that kind of effort that you learned that early from your family?
Yeah, for sure. Like my dad was a professional player. He was just like me, and he was a dog like in the court. He was like jumping for every ball, and so yeah, I just try to be like him. This.
Your dad having been a professional, does that help you, like the advice that he's always kind of given you, like on what it actually takes to make it to the next level?
Yeah, for sure. He helped me every time. I call him every day. It's just like it's an extra help for me, like because I know like it's good to have a father that already did this job. Like he was already a basketball player.
Yeah.
Just and I just have to listen to him like as a father and as a coach too. So that's nice. It's pretty nice. And I got my big
Yeah.
brother too, a professional player. So I just listen to my family. So yeah,
Yeah. So your family could hoop, huh?
yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. This is the last one that I want to take you through. This was the game against the Mets, and you just ripped that from Victor. You hop in there. What was it like playing in this game, this atmosphere? I mean, the amount of hype and then to go out there and you guys have the showing that you did. Just take me through that whole atmosphere of that weekend.
I would say it was like really my not my first game, but like my first game to the next level. I think yeah. And I mean, Victor, I played against him a lot of time in France. So when I saw him, I was like, for sure, he's really good right now. He's really good. He's
Yeah, he's
now,
pretty
I,
good.
but like for me, it was like I just remember like I remember like this game before the game. I was like just thinking like when I was playing him when I was 13 years old, 12 years old. So I was like every time like almost like every 2 weeks we was playing against each other. So I was just like playing like it was like back in the day, you know. So
That was so. I mean, was that like the coolest experience for you guys growing up together, and then getting to play on in front of a national audience and a game that was? I mean, I think you guys probably took over basketball Twitter, that night, like Instagram, like social media. I mean, everybody was talking about that game, and I think
yeah,
that when we look back, that's going to be such a huge um, part of like the G League Ignite's legacy is having that cross promotion game between so many important prospects. So that must have been a really really cool experience.
yeah, because I think it's the first time like they do a game like this against an overseas team and against a G League team, and it's really nice and it showed that overseas people can really play too, and G League people can play too. Like because like in the overseas, like about the G League, they think like nobody play G Leagues. Like just is a thing about NBA, just this.
Mm,
But I think in NBA, like the same or G Leagues, they don't think about overseas. But like it's only Euro League, for example. Like,
right.
so it was good to shows like what the both country like what both continents can do. So yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool week for the basketball world. All right, so the last thing I want to have you do on this show, we usually do the segment where we do this thing called "Sell Me This Pen," and we do a little like 1 minute pitch on the prospect. So I want you to do a "Sell Me This Pen" on Sidy Cissoko. Tell if I was an NBA team, sell me on Sidy Cissoko, and why should a team take you next year?
All right. Sidy Cissoko is a French guy that the last 4 years he won in Spain alone and and just playing basketball like for his family, I think, for his money and make proud the family. He's a really nice guy, funny guy too, and just like the basketball and just have fun every time we play basketball and just I want to yeah just want to I want to make my family proud what I can do and give everything in the courts and outside the courts too for my family. This is
Awesome. Sidy, thank you so much for sitting down, chopping it up, going through film. I think that, if people weren't familiar with your game before, they definitely are now. And good luck in Utah with the next up game, and good luck the rest of the way in your G League season and next year when you make it to the league. I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It was really fun. Thank you.